episode today. A cozy episode of Praise the Run. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm Benjamin Lucky, co-host Patrick McKinstry.
Hey.
How are you doing today?
I'm so good.
It's been a couple weeks. We were off schedule. Yeah, my car blew up.
Yeah.
That's what happened to me. And
That's
then
nuts.
yeah, you've been traveling and stuff, so you just couldn't make it out.
Yeah. Well, then my car got towed. That was a big thing that happened.
Right.
My car got towed in the middle of Worcester.
So your car.
And it was like 11 at night.
Yeah.
So, they were like, well, you can get it tonight before we close in an hour. And I was like, well, I don't have my car to get there, so I don't know what you want me to do. Call an Uber at 11,
Right. I had to call a tow truck too. Roadside assistance that I have that I pay for couldn't get a tow truck out to me.
Wow.
So
That's right.
I had to find a tow truck, and then they're gonna reimburse me or something.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good at least.
Yeah, but it was like $1,300. I think it was like $1,296 and change.
Yeah.
But Jesus, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Those car places those tow guys are rough.
Yeah. So I was Ubering around everywhere. That's what I did have to do. Because Kyle works new hours, so like he goes to work at 6, and then I work at 9, and then he'll get out at 2, and then I get out at like 9.
Oh, yeah.
Most days.
I wasn't linking up.
Yeah.
Yeah, luckily I was able to get it out the next day, but it was just, now I'm just like paying for it in the back end, basically.
No, I thankfully I got my taxes, so it was, my mom paid me the $1,300, and then I got my taxes yesterday.
Oh, nice. Well, that's good.
Yeah. So it was like, I would have, I need this money now, and I'll pay you back as soon as I get that. Oh, I got that immediately. I didn't get it. I was thinking I was going to get it next week, because they said it was going to take up to 20 days, and I was like, oh God, I hope not.
Oh,
But
that'd be...
It didn't take that long for it to...
Usually it's pretty quick. I've always got mine like less than a week.
Yeah.
The next day mostly. Like it's rarely slow.
Yeah.
I feel.
The car also got done a lot faster, because initially, like, when I got my car to, Kyle came and picked me up, and we came home, got on the phone with them. They had said that they had to order the parts still, and they weren't going to be able to order the parts until the next day.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, they can't even look at it today. That was the day after. The next day they looked at it. They're like, oh, we can't order the parts today, but we'll order the parts tomorrow. And then I guess somewhere they ordered the parts and got them, because it was like a day later or so my car was done. And
that's crazy.
it sounded like they needed to order the parts, and it was going to take forever for them to get them.
Maybe they just drove up the road to the,
right.
Whatever the tool store is called.
Yeah.
AutoZone.
Yeah, the coolant container, that cracked open. I had to get a new thermometer in my car. All my spark plugs got turned into garbage because they all got sprayed.
Oh, wow.
There's like 3 or 4 wires that needed to get changed.
That's crazy.
All my fluids had to get refilled.
How did it get cracked? Just like wear and tear? You hit something? Or?
I have no clue, man.
Huh. I don't even know where it is, if that's even like a thing you could do.
No, it's on top. I mean,
okay.
People crack their radiator. Usually your cooling compartment isn't, but I think it just got so hot that it ended up exploding from pressure.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing in there, so that's just where all the hot air was pushing out towards, and then it just expanded or something.
Cars suck.
Yeah. I just went to
me so mad.
I just went to the vape shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to the vape shop
just a
and
quick
back.
little trip.
I had gone to Mass earlier that day.
Right.
And everything was fine, and I got back, and then I think I went to go get lunch as well later that day.
Huh.
Everything was fine. Came home, recorded a couple episodes, went to the vape shop because my vape died.
Yeah.
And then my
Well,
car
at least you were close. At least you weren't
Yeah.
in Worcester. Or
Yeah,
something.
that's why I said to myself too. But like, I mean, I was like, go figure. I mean, I'm not gonna blame me wanting to go do something for myself as the
Right.
reason why my car
It
exploded.
was gonna happen no matter what.
It was gonna happen no matter what. Yeah, but yeah, that fucking sucks, dude.
Yeah, at least it was like you weren't on your way to work,
Right.
or you weren't out in the middle of nowhere or something.
Right. But I felt like I put cold wind in not too long ago, but maybe it was like I didn't wait long enough for it to like feed through all the tubes, so maybe I just ran out of coolant.
Yeah.
Like after, because it was definitely before we started driving to Mass frequently. But I got car work done. I got new tires and everything, and all my fluids done at Walmart like for Christmas.
Right.
So it didn't seem that long.
Yeah. Yeah, it's only 4 months.
But I don't. Maybe they didn't do my radiator. I know they did my oil for sure, my tires and stuff. But I don't remember.
Usually they do it, or at least give you some sort of like, hey, you should do it type thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure. Maybe. Cause cool. I remember you had some as well. So I used some of that.
Yeah.
So maybe I didn't get coolant done at Walmart. I don't know.
Weird.
I don't know.
Well,
it's
you definitely
weird.
got it done now.
Yeah, dude. But anyways, I played some Elden Ring. That's really all I played this week.
Really? Nice.
Yeah, you still playing Liza P as well.
Yeah, I was playing Liza P until I got stuck at this like random, suddenly a boss, just a very fast. I don't even remember their name.
It's like the Watchtower clone thing, right?
Yeah, but yeah, they clone themselves and they dart around all over the place.
Yeah.
So I
she
gotta
has like
kind of
scissor things.
I gotta kind of figure out what I'm doing. I did that a few times and I was like, you know what? I've been playing this a minute. I'm gonna switch it up because we were talking about the Yakuza games and
Hell yeah.
Infinite
Okay.
Wealth is coming out.
Yeah. Well, it's out.
Well, it's out. Yeah,
Yeah.
well now it's out, but
No,
I
like
don't think it
Dragon's on
was
Game
when we
Pass.
were talking about it.
Maybe.
But maybe.
I don't
know.
It's been out for a while now. It's been like a month or two now.
Yeah. Well, either way,
It's crazy, man.
I want to play the first one first.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing now. Is I'm playing
Okay. Hell yeah.
that one, which is cool. I've put tons of hours in that game because there's so many times during that game where you can like do other things at the same time. So I'm like working on other things while the story's going on, and like I'm still like invested. It's really good at like it's a great story. I love the game. But I'm only on chapter 5, but I've just done almost every mini game like to completion.
Yeah.
Like I'm making like super like just millions of yen from this business game. I've almost beat the go-kart game. I've completed every quiz in the school that you can do. Like there's so many like side missions that you
Hell yeah, dude.
I'm like super grinding.
Hell yeah.
So like now most of the bad guys are like just a couple smacks. Like I rotate the party one time and everyone's dead. I mean, it's like it's dumb.
Okay.
So I'll definitely. I mean, I'm sure eventually I'll hit a wall still. Like I'm sure the game won't make it that easy, but once I get back into it, like the actual story mode, I feel like it's gonna.
Yeah, I've heard
I'm gonna
like
bob through for a minute.
I've heard like it has a kind of a difficulty spike at the end, like the last like 5 or 6 hours of that game.
Yeah, I feel like they have to predict that you can get really beefed up.
Yeah, I think just you start encountering a lot more like bosses and stuff like that. There's some really fun bosses in that game. I do want to put more time in that game because I picked it up that one night as well.
Yeah.
When we were talking about it for like 4 or 5 hours. I think I played like a couple hands of poker.
Yeah.
And like jumped on an arcade machine and
Right.
then did
There's so much. It pleases like every little like my ADHD like because like
yeah.
you could be on your way to doing something and then you'll just walk into a cutscene that's like a completely
Random thing.
random side mission.
Yeah. The
and
girl,
just be like, oh, I guess I'm doing this now. This is great.
the apple tree is a sweet one. I like that story
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, I think I just finished that one too, which is great because like, besides that story so far, like 90% of the stories are like sad. They're so sad.
Right.
This game is like incredibly, terrible. Like a lot of these people's lives suck.
Have you done any of the movie theater quests yet?
No, I've only did the very first one where you sit in the theater
Yeah.
with the guy.
Yeah.
I haven't returned. That's like on my list of things. I've been kind of just knocking out one or two things at a time.
That's a good quest.
Right now, I'm just trying to get like all the CDs at all the different places. That's like my goal.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All the karaoke
And finish the go-karts because I still have to do like a couple more races on that. Those are surprisingly pretty fun.
There's like a wrestling side quest as well, I think, that I did that I liked a lot.
Oh, I don't think I did that one.
Memory of that as well. It's been a long time since I actually sat down and played like the majority of that game.
Yeah.
But like I probably only got through a third of it. Like
It's so good.
I
Like,
was nowhere close to the end.
it's so good. The story's good. Like all the little side stories are really good, and like I love how some of the stories end with like a moral or something, but it's just like a dry kind of like funny ending and stuff. Like there's just like a lot of, you can walk into so many buildings even if they don't do anything. There's like hidden stuff all over the place. It's really good. It's fun. It's cool. It's like Final Fantasy, but for just people with normal lives.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, it's all based off he talks about Dragon Quest.
Oh right, Dragon Quest. Yeah.
all
So
Dragon
that's what
Quest.
it is. Yeah, but
Which is also
I haven't played. I don't think I've played Dragon Quest.
So
Final
I
Fantasy.
think Dragon Quest is also on Game Pass. So
Oh,
I'm
really?
thinking about dabbling into Dragon Quest 11 recently. But that's
Interesting.
another game that's a big boy RPG where it's
I
like
bet, yeah.
160 hours, like easy.
I bet.
And all of them are like that.
Yeah.
But they're classics. And Akira Toriyama just died. Like, did we even talk about that recently?
I don't think so,
I don't
no.
think so. But yeah, rest in peace. But like I never played a full Dragon Quest game before. Like I've played a bunch of the spin-offs and I've dabbled in them all, but like I've never like played through them.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they did that remaster or like the definitive edition of 11 where like they changed the music because the original music was like MIDI
Yeah.
or something versus like orchestral music and it sounded like shit.
Huh.
So like the orchestral version's out now and I don't know. I'm be into it. But that Sandland game's also coming out soon, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, Yakuza I really want to play through. Infinite Wealth seems like so much fun.
Yeah.
I know Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is out now as well, but my playthrough of Remake is cursed. I never went back to it.
Oh right.
Yeah,
That's true.
I tried playing through that game like twice, and then it deleted like all the footage twice. So I never went back to it.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's like a gives you PTSD.
Yeah, dude.
It's like
Yeah, it's like Tony Hawk's Project 8.
yeah.
That's my memory of that game. All my footage disappeared off my camera, like corrupted.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's bound to happen. You do so many of these, you're gonna get
Right. And you forget what's on the memory card if I don't load it on the hard drive.
Right.
Then right away, then I forget. Which
True.
is a bad habit. It was like the other day, the last episode we recorded, I deleted all the Skate footage I had done. Well, I guess I had been playing Skate this recently.
Yeah.
Skate, still Skate. I'm kind of
Right.
debating on whether or not I want to move on. But Yakuza seems like fun. I don't know if that would be a fun game to do episodes on, though. That would be long.
It depends on what part you're in, because like the first probably 3-4 hours is almost nothing but cutscenes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if I just did quests and didn't do anything, it'd
Yeah.
probably be fine. And it would probably be like 80 hours versus like 120. But my problem is like I'm like 50 hours into that game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only like a third of the way through just because I fuck around so much.
Right. Yeah. Same. I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But I also want to move on so I can play all of the others that I haven't played before. You know.
Right.
Like people say Kiwami 1 and Kiwami 2 are great remakes, and like.
Yeah.
0 is apparently like one of the best, along with 6 being a great ending. I don't know.
Yeah, I can only imagine like what the other stories are and how different and crazy they
Right.
can be, just off of like how unique the stories in this game is.
Right, and especially because like I know the problem with 1 through 6 is like it all takes place in that single city, but like because 7 and 8 are totally different, like I have no memory of that original city.
Yeah.
Like
Interesting.
I played it in like game demos and stuff like that.
Oh, right,
Well,
yeah.
I've never like, deep dived and like gone down every alley and found secrets or anything like that. But that's kind of like the charm of those games is like from 0 being in like 1980 to like 6 being in modern day. It's like that same city over the 20-30 years.
Right. So you're actually seeing it update.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, and seeing like, oh, that store used to be this store, and this store is a lot bigger now.
Now it's just boarded up. Or, right. Yeah.
Yeah. The cigarette lady that used to work here died.
Right.
Stuff like that.
Yeah. That's
Like,
crazy though.
Yeah. When like 8, the most recent one is apparently like there's a lot of like going back to that old city and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I kind of want to be prepared for that as well. Because 8's, as much as it's like a continuation of Ichiban, like it's supposed to be a send off to Kiryu as well.
Right.
From what I've heard. And
Is there in the first one when he goes to jail for like 15 years or something?
Mhm.
Is there a game that's like in that time zone while he's in? Oh, okay, I thought that'd be pretty cool.
That would be sick.
Yeah, right. There's a possibility. But
They did do a game. They just came out with the one not too long ago, The Man Who Erased His Name, which is also
Right.
on Game Pass,
Yeah,
which is all the shit that Kiryu was doing in between 7 and 8. Or 6 and 8, while 7 was going on with Ichiban.
Right.
Because spoilers, Kiryu is doing shit while Ichiban is going around. Kiryu's not like dead.
Right.
Even though I think the end of 6 is like he's supposedly like dead or something, but you obviously know he's not because they put out 2 games with him after that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so like you have Kiryu's like where he's been and kind of like his whole like secret association society thing that he's been dealing with and stuff like that. And a lot of it is like about how he faked his death and kind of stuff like that.
Right.
So that sounds cool, and then that also is like the old mechanics. It goes back to the old stuff.
Yeah, I want to give that a shot too.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm gonna get used to this turn-based thing, and then go to one of their other games and be like, "What? This is different."
And from what I've heard, like bosses in the old ones were like real hard.
Yeah.
Because of that, because they're like beat 'em ups, and you have to block and shit.
Right. You have to actually.
Yeah. I don't know. No, that's cool. You're enjoying it. It's such a fun game.
Yeah, I've been playing it a lot. I feel like Kenya's sick of it because it is literally it is on. Like pretty much after I get my morning stuff done, I turn it on, and I can just go to. There's so many different mini games that I can go to,
Right.
and just kind of play casually. You know.
Yeah.
With goals in mind of like, oh, if I complete this today, I can earn enough to get this, all the CDs and this weapon or something.
Right. You can go to the jukebox at the bar and just listen to music if you wanted to.
I could. Yeah, absolutely. Almost all my bonds, my friendship bonds are complete.
Yeah.
Because that's all because I go to the bar and just like go in and out and do stuff, and like it's
Hell yeah.
it's crazy. But it's like it's you're playing the game, you want to complete the stuff, but it's fun the whole time. You don't feel like, oh, I gotta get this. I have to get this trophy. Like, you're just like, oh man, I'm definitely gonna get this. This is cake.
It's kind of like my feeling with like how Persona 3 Reload was going. It was like, oh, I have to.
It's
do
like the opposite
stuff.
of that, right? Yeah. Persona was just so repetitive in that. Where Persona 3 was, that I was like,
Right. From what I've heard, like the back half of that is like, a lot better.
Yeah,
apparently.
I guess you're encouraged to like do the bonding and stuff, and that's supposed to help mix it up. But
the back half of a Persona game though is like fucking 20 hours and an 80-hour RPG.
Right.
So
yeah,
like
I don't want to have fun the last
bit.
bit.
Yeah, get through 60 hours of shit.
And then it's over.
Yeah. But they're also they did just announce not too long ago at that last Xbox event the expansion of
right.
it was like episode Aegis or whatever, which was like their version of Royal or Golden or whatever the other personas are called. It's like another 20-30 hours of campaign, basically.
Just another bit of story.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's still not the girls' campaign. They're still not in.
They didn't include that whole other thing.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Very weird.
Yeah, but I don't know. Yakuza doesn't need another character, but apparently 8 has 2 characters. So I'm really interested in that, especially because I haven't seen it, but I would imagine it. So I don't even think I've heard anybody talk about it. I mean, I must have, because it's in my mind. But, like, I think Ichiban is turn-based in that game, and then when you finally go back to Kiryu, it's back to the old mechanics, and then you keep bouncing.
That's crazy.
Between the
well,
two.
yeah, because that's how Ichiban thinks.
Yeah.
It's turn-based. That's how he, like,
it's
sees
just in his mind.
His brain.
Yeah.
That'd be...
Versus Kiryu's just down to kick ass.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Do they know each other? Is that, like, a thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know the history of them.
Right. I never got there, and if it's in 7 or whatever, I think it's in 7 on how, but I don't think it's like a super in-depth moment. I think it's like a cameo thing. I think he's like barely in that game, and then he's like goes back into the shadows. Versus this game, versus 8, I think he's a lot more involved.
Yeah, they're tying them together.
Right. But I've seen like the first 10 hours of that game, and he's not in it. So.
Might be the back half too.
Right.
You know, maybe.
It takes forever to get to Hawaii. Dude,
yeah.
It was like 8 or 9 hours to get to Hawaii.
Well, that's what even in this game, it was like a good had to be 4 hours at least before you even get to the main area that you're playing.
Right.
Because you have to do the whole beginning part and the whole backstory of his growing up.
Is it Kamurocho is the city? The new city?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
At this point, there's so many different Asian names floating around my brain.
Yeah. And I listened to it all. It's all fucking in Japanese. Like, it's all dubbed for me. Or all subbed for me.
Oh, really?
So I don't know any of the English names for...
No. Well, no, I'm pretty sure most of that, they don't even, like...
it's not...
Like, signs and stuff aren't even translated.
Right, but you can... They did do English voice acting for all the characters.
Yeah, I have English voice acting going.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was even an option. It just did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It would make sense that it is an option, but I didn't even... It just automatically was.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Ichiban's a lot more emotive in Japanese versus, I think, Matt Mercer is who plays him.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or something.
It's pretty cool. I like Ichiban. As a character, he's really cool.
Yeah, I don't think he's played badly from the American voice actor. It just feels out of place.
Yeah.
But yeah. I've done both ways with like Sekiro and stuff like that. I'm not really a picky person when it comes to that stuff. Like Final Fantasy, I'd rather play English versus Japanese just because there's too much fantasy bullshit.
Yeah.
Versus like I feel like Yakuza kind of like teaches you Japanese when you play it because there's a lot more like
Like, it's just real shit.
Real shit,
Yeah.
like food and stuff like that.
A lot of food.
A lot of food.
Hella food, yeah.
And then there's like real food in that, like Boss Coffee is all over in that game, and like Gekiken sake, and
Yeah.
fucking so much shit.
Yeah,
There's so
there's a
much
lot of
real
shit.
shit. Which
It's
is
very
cool.
real. I feel like it's everything. Like, I wish I could put this game and like GTA together.
Right.
You know?
Because it's not a real city still.
Yeah.
Like, which is crazy. But it feels so lifelike because it's based off Tokyo. And,
Yeah. It's just bits and pieces, and
I think Shibuya is the other city that
Yeah.
it's based off of. But yeah. Yeah, GTA. I mean, they did like that Chinatown Wars, which is the closest like Asian
right.
representation.
No,
of
I mean, I
Grand
just
Theft Auto,
like
but,
just how like accessible everything is in this game,
Oh yeah.
but also being able to like murder everyone like in GTA.
Yeah, I wonder, like, GTA 6, like, as much as GTA 5's open world is big and stuff like that,
Yeah.
it's super fucking dead.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
that city is so boring. And
Yeah,
they've never really,
absolutely.
honestly, I would say that they've never really had an exciting city. Like, it's a good sandbox, but it's
Yeah,
not
it always just feels like a model city.
Right.
Like you can't, unless there's a little arrow floating in front of it, you can't really. Like the biggest thing they did was when they made gas stations, you could walk into those real time.
Right.
That was like the big new thing.
Right, but like, I don't know, and maybe it's like also a product of like how I feel about just Rockstar games in general and how they
Yeah.
control versus like, I think the fucking mini games in Yakuza are tight as shit. Like,
Oh yeah,
so well like
Absolutely.
controlled and
they're so good.
like from darts to like poker to fucking the crane games
Yeah,
to
baseball,
jet skis
everything.
to baseball. Yeah, dude. Like,
And
all the
they all
crazy
yeah, it all changes up enough for it to be its own game. Where
Right.
like, and I like how like almost every game so far escalates to this like B story.
Yeah.
Like craziness. It's like, oh, I was just playing this game and now this fucking royal guy wants to
Right.
murder me because I'm the best or something. Like that's what's so funny to me.
Right, there's like an actual RPG depth to
Yeah,
to
right.
everything versus like GTA. Like everything kind of feels so like throwaway.
Even like in the first Red Dead that I'm still playing.
Yeah.
Even when you play poker there's no real like. You know, like they were like Wild West bandits. They're shooting people under the table
Right.
and you know stuff like that. Like that's what I was expecting.
Yeah.
And it's like you can find that you can get a suit to cheat, and that's like the hardest thing to do, is cheat while you're playing the game. And then it's not even like a good cheat. Half the time it doesn't work.
Right. I think maybe Red Dead 2 had that. Where you
It probably steps up a little bit. I haven't played the
But-
second one, but still.
Yeah, I should, dude. Fucking Red Dead 2. Oh, what a disappointment.
Yeah.
Yeah, Balatro. If you want that, dude, if you want weird shit in poker, Balatro. Like, we haven't talked about Balatro on the show, but people are fucking
Yeah.
loving
I don't
Balatro.
think I've seen that.
I think it's like $15, man, and it's like, imagine it's a poker roguelike. If somebody wanted to make the sequel to poker, this
Okay.
is it.
Alright.
Yeah. The whole idea is that you play poker games against different hands and stuff like that. And every single deck has modifiers from Joker cards. Each Joker card is a different modifier, and each run you can get different Jokers and stuff like that.
Right.
And the whole point is you're trying to collect all the decks and trying to get all the different Joker cards to eventually beat the game.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and like it's more of a math game than just a poker game because
Right.
it kind of like takes basic poker knowledge and throws it out the window. Where like you can get a card where like your whole hand is reliant on pairs and like flushes don't mean shit anymore because I got a Joker that has like fucking pairs on hearts are worth ×2, but I also got this other Joker that turns every single even card into hearts, and fucking...
That's cool.
Yeah, like, it starts getting to weird shit,
Right.
and then you start getting into, like, where antes and winnings are, like, decimal points or, like, exponents and shit like that.
Shit. That's
where
nice.
it's, like, times 29th power.
Huh.
And shit like that.
That's cool.
But it's all, like, cool pixel art. It looks like a old, like, one of those stand-up cabinets on, like, the, a bar or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It has that same, like, appeal to it.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's so
That's
cool.
pretty cool. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. I don't think I've seen anything.
Yeah,
I've seen a couple roguelike card games recently.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that one. But that's cool.
That's the one that everybody's talking about,
Yeah.
and people won't shut up about it. I feel like it's been like a month and a half now where people are
Yeah,
talking
well, I'm
about
behind.
it. Yeah. Yeah, well, it's not on Game Pass or anything like that, and it's not my thing, so, like,
Yeah.
I'm not playing it or
Right.
anything, or unless I would have talked about it. But honestly, it was probably, like, one of the best-selling games of last month because of how big. But we probably should have talked about it because it was a huge deal that it came out and it's rated E for everyone.
Yeah.
And then I forgot what country it was, but they took it off the store. It was the European board. It was rated PEGI 3+ or whatever, or 7+.
Yeah.
And they jacked it up to 18+, which cannot be sold on, like, platforms, like console platforms. So, like, its biggest audience is on Switch.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it got taken off the Switch store.
Why?
And
Why would it be jacked up though? What happened?
because it simulates gambling and stuff like that, and
Oh.
like it passed the ratings board, and then they somebody
But
must
it's
have been
like
like
a-
super spiteful or something,
Yeah.
because that usually doesn't happen.
Right. It's like a spoof of that.
Right. Yeah. So then the dude had to send like appeals and stuff like that, and then now it's back. It's back on the store and everything like that.
Still, that's
but
crazy.
yeah, that was intense.
Who
But
would
that,
go out of their way?
yeah, that happened so fast that might have happened on like within the last 2 weeks that we weren't recording.
Wow.
But yeah, that people.
What was it called?
That. It's called Balatro.
I'm not gonna
I'll
know how to spell that. I
Yeah,
don't think.
I'll text it to you
Like
later.
cilantro, but with a B.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a lot easier than maybe I thought. But
Yeah.
I might still need a link. Is it out on consoles? I can play it on my Xbox.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's on Xbox.
Okay. I mean, I might actually get it on. Can you Switch?
Yeah. Yeah. Switch is
If
like
it's
the
more
ideal
of that
thing.
kind of setup, that probably seems like it'd be a better.
Yeah, people talk about playing it on Switch or Steam Deck a lot. But
Yeah.
I think it's on Xbox and PlayStation as well. So
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
my prescriptions are also starting to get bad, so I might just have to switch to handheld games for a
oh
while.
really? Damn, dude.
It's not like that bad yet, but I can feel it. You know,
Yeah.
you can start. When your eyes start hurting because you're squinting a lot.
Right.
You know, it's like, oh man.
We'll sign up for
So.
like state optometry now.
I usually
And
just go to
then-
Walmart and just say
Oh, that
full
works.
price, please.
Right.
And they're like, yeah, right.
Yeah, that works too.
They don't ask too many questions.
No, that makes sense. Walmart wants your money.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Right.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, I don't have like a bunch of news or anything this week though. The big news was the Gearbox did eventually buy themselves back.
Yeah,
And-
yeah, I did
or
see that.
didn't buy themselves back, but they have sold.
Right. Yeah.
Gearbox has sold to Take-Two for almost half of what Embracer Group bought them for initially.
Wow.
But it looks like the way that Embracer deal worked out, that they never ended up paying their full $1 billion because of payouts and
Right.
people like leaving
Oh,
and
okay.
stuff. But yeah, Take-Two bought them for like $256 million or something
Wow.
like that, and then it's like $500 something million for the whole deal, just kind of like how they did with Saber, where they are buying other things. It doesn't look like all of Gearbox is going with Gearbox.
Yeah.
like, I guess the publishing wing of Gearbox is gonna stay with Embracer Group because Take-Two doesn't need a publishing wing.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, because like, right, because Gearbox did like the weird. Did you ever play Risk of Rain?
I don't think so.
No, it was like or Battleborn. You remember Battleborn?
Maybe.
And it was like the weird Overwatch game that Overwatch killed because it like came out within like the same month or whatever.
I don't think so.
But anyways, they do other things besides Borderlands.
Right.
That isn't
Yeah,
Borderlands.
surprisingly.
And they do stuff that isn't in house that they just publish. I forgot what was another. There was another more recent game that came out. That was published by them that people like. But yeah, the Embracer Group wants to keep that publishing wing, and it looks like a lot of the other stuff will probably be like, I'd imagine under Private Division and stuff like that. A lot of that publishing stuff is kind of like already what Private Division was for with Take-Two. And then they also, like, Take-Two also has, like, Rockstar and, like, fucking
Right.
2K and all this shit. So, like, I don't know. Really, the only thing that Take-Two cares about is Borderlands, I'd imagine.
Right.
Do you think Borderlands is going to be worth it? $500 million?
No.
No? I mean, Borderlands makes a lot of money, but it doesn't...
Yeah, I mean, unless they...
What do they need a Borderlands for you to be like, yeah, I'm gonna buy the $100
Even then, I don't know. I feel like they put a lot into 3, and then they did the Tiny Tina things.
Yeah. Did you play Tiny Tina's?
I didn't play those, no.
That's on Game Pass too, right?
Yeah, I think so. It was at one time. All of them were.
Yeah. I might want to jump into that one because apparently that one's so different, but I can't get past that humor.
Yeah. I mean, I want to check it out because they do give you like a hint of it in another game, and I don't know if it's the same thing or different, but it's. I enjoyed it. The inspiration of it was a DLC.
Yeah, from what I've heard, I mean, people that play those games say those games are great.
Yeah. I've enjoyed all the games.
Right.
Yeah,
the worst one being
sure.
the pre-sequel, which wasn't made by that same team.
Yeah, it was like an Australian team or whatever. Yeah. There's almost no ties to the other one.
And they did do a sequel to Tales of the Borderlands. Remember that? That came out like last year, man.
Yeah, that's
that
true.
That was real bad, apparently.
That's true. They did do that.
People
but
really
I can't
like that first one.
I mean, I don't know. I guess people are still posting about Borderlands 3, like pretty regularly. They're still I don't know when the last update was, but they're still
they do a lot of free stuff.
Putting stuff out, silly little things, you know.
Yeah. I think those games have sold very well.
They're still putting keys out.
Right.
All the diamond key codes and shit.
I'm gonna look it up. I wonder how much Borderlands 3 has sold.
Borderlands 3 is their GTA 5 right now, you know. They're
right. Well, I mean, that's not for Take-Two.
No?
No, because GTA 5's Take-Two's GTA 5.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
that's true now, yeah.
But
before then, before it was all under one conglomerate name.
15 million copies sold for Borderlands 3, not including like Game Pass or anything like that. Yeah, that's fucking huge, dude. Like, I mean,
I cannot like if they do a 4, it would have to be crazy because they put so much into 3.
Right, that's like double like Final Fantasy 7 remake.
Yeah,
like big.
It's huge. People really love that game.
Right, which makes me wonder what the movie's gonna be like.
It's just a whole different type of game.
Yeah, will the movie do well enough for them to maybe?
That's
make
the other thing. It's like if that movie really tanks, they might lose all respect.
Right, which it most doubtedly will.
Yeah.
But like, how bad will it?
Or they'll play off of it really hardcore.
Yeah.
and make a game just like shitting on the movie, which would be super fun.
Right. I wonder what happens to Randy Pitchford.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he's still CEO. He doesn't own the company anymore, but he's still been CEO the whole time that he's been with Embracer.
Right.
He's still been there. Will Take-Two put up with Randy Pitchford? Like, from what I've heard from different podcasters who have heard from different, like, people and their sources, is, like, Take-Two not owning Gearbox during Borderlands means that Take-Two is kind of, like, not been able to have a leash on Gearbox. You know? Like, Take-Two owns the Borderlands franchise, but they don't own Gearbox.
Right.
So they kind of can't make Gearbox do whatever, because Gearbox is going to do whatever they want regardless.
Yeah.
And Borderlands is going to take however long that they want, because Gearbox is making all the money in the world, you know? Are they? I think they were, but they sold, so maybe not. That I wonder if, like, a lot of this is like, now we can finally have a leash on Gearbox because these games don't come out as frequent as we want them to. Because, like, how long did Borderlands 3 take to develop from Borderlands 2, you know? Like,
I feel like it was
like 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, it was like a really long. It was like long enough that it was unexpected. I think.
Right.
It was like so long. People were like, what, a third one?
Right. Yeah. And from our understanding is, like, they were working on that game the whole time, and they, like, scrapped it a couple of times and stuff like that, which is also understandable because, again, back to the humor thing, and, like, it's really hard to make a game funny. Let alone have something be funny
over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you have, like, a lot of, like, there's a...
Sorry.
No, I was gonna say there's just, like, a lot of randomness to 3, right? Where, like, there's a lot of, like, roguelike and randomly generated levels and stuff like that is a big thing with 3, from my understanding. And, like, guns are random too, and, like,
the
all
guns,
of that modifiers.
that's all random. The levels are all pretty. No, because the big thing with 3 is you can, like, travel between planets.
Oh, really?
But, like, it's like a teleport. You, like, get in your ship and you choose a different planet. But they're all the same.
I thought there was something random in that.
But the weapons are all RNG.
Yeah.
Besides, like, I don't even think, like, bosses will more likely drop legendary items, but even that's not 100% guaranteed.
Yeah.
Like, everything. That's a huge thing. Like, people, it's like, you know, you're trying to make the ultimate builds or whatever, but it's all random, so you gotta grind a lot.
And they've done, like, some cool things with that. Like, if we were to play multiplayer, right, you would be a lot higher level than me, because I've never played it. But enemies for me would be my level, and enemies for you would be your level.
But you'll collect my level of XP.
Right.
So you'll jump in levels.
Right.
While I'm only going up like 1 or 2.
Right.
So
it's like super grind me.
Yeah, that's
super cool.
Which is really cool.
I think that should be in a lot more. Like, I don't know, and it's a very, like, loose case scenario, like, I guess, but, like, I think that should be applied to more things. Like, bringing somebody into, like, I don't know, like, any multiplayer game, I guess. Any Left 4 Dead, or not Left 4 Dead, but Back 4 Blood, that one where everybody has, like, levels and, like, decks of cards and modifiers and stuff like that. It's like, shit, dude, well, like, I have a bunch of shit and this dude has nothing.
He literally started today. Yeah,
so it'd be cool to, like, get him to my level kind of thing. Or, I don't know. The most recent game would be Remnant for me, where I was like, Remnant would be cool to play, but, like, getting somebody to be the same level as me? Do we both start at scratch, or do I continue being level 20 and they're level 1 or 2 or whatever because they just jump in? Would it balance out correctly? I think it would, but I don't know. It's a Souls-like, so like I doubt it.
Is it balanced to begin with?
Yeah. I think Remnant 2 has a lot more balancing stuff than what that is. But like I've seen the end boss of Remnant 2, man. That's a fucked up shit.
Really?
Yeah, dude. The end boss has a mechanic where like it has 2 different phases going on at the same time, and you flash in between them.
Wow.
And wherever you are in the last phase, you have to remember, because you'll be in a different spot in the next phase, and then it'll flash back to that one, and you could be like mid being shot, or like mid heals, or like, yeah, dude, it's fucked
That
up.
sounds crazy.
It is insane. And lasers are going off. It's this like giant hell monster dragon thing. It's so fucked. I think it's called like the Annihilator or something, like something super sci-fi soulsy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that would be a fun game to play through. I'm thinking about that. Like now that
we can do that. You wanna do a Remnant run?
That would be fun to do. That'd be fun.
I'm not terrible. I'm pretty good at Souls-like games.
Yeah,
I'm just slow. I'm just like get really distracted.
Right. That would be, we'd have to do it from home.
Yeah.
Because there's not like a couch co-op thing, I don't think. But that would be fine. I'd be fine to do that. I need to get a mic. That's the big thing.
Right. Yeah. Well, you could.
Well, no, that headset has a mic plugged in. I think I could just plug that in.
You could even
It'd probably sound like shit. Well, I could use that for me while I'm recording, but not for. I can't plug that into the Xbox.
Oh.
Yeah, it's an XLR mic, so I need like an XLR
yeah,
splitter and everything like that.
Yeah, it's too big.
Yeah.
That's small.
Eventually.
Yeah, right.
Eventually, we'll get the PC hookups and,
Yeah,
all that kind of stuff.
So that locked in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool though if we did that.
Yeah. I saw that you started doing t-shirts.
Oh, yeah. I just have a lot of doodles sitting on my computer, and I was organizing some stuff, and I was like,
yeah,
let's put it on a t-shirt,
Yeah, dude.
Maybe I'll make an extra $1.
Dude. I've been thinking about that too for, of course, my channel, but like this channel. So like, I don't know, we should hook that up for this channel and get some t-shirts going or something.
It's not difficult now that I've kind of got the system down. It's not hard. It's just something passive, it's very little work. I mean, you could do the hard way where you bulk order 50 shirts and then actually go out and push them. It's much more profitable that way, but this way you literally just put the design up and make a couple extra bucks, and hopefully that's enough.
And then have to promote it and all that stuff. But that's a good idea. Like I want to do like the Mega 64 thing where it's like praise the run, having like a basic logo shirt is one thing, but also like doing shirts.
I'd love to get to that level. This website doesn't have like that kind of customization. Right,
but just doing stuff that it's not like it doesn't just, it can be praise the run, but it's not like it's not the thing that you're looking at, right? It could just be completely random, and then praise the run's like super
absolutely
small on
it's
it.
Like it's like
It's a cool design,
absolutely.
Because that will always sell better than just some logo,
100%, yeah.
I have always thought about that. So like, yeah, that's super cool. I don't know, you've inspired me over the last week, but I've just had like 0 time. I took that hour nap today. I was like debating it because I was like, I need to do other stuff. But I want to do that. We still need to do. I have the Patreon hooked up. I just need to like do all the payment stuff and everything like that.
Oh right. Yeah.
But there's a Patreon account with Praise the Run's name on it as of now.
Nice. Locked and loaded.
Yeah, I'll have to send you some stuff like that, so I'm not the only one doing that. Cause if I'm doing that, I'll set up like did I do the Twitter or stuff? I don't know. I have to send you all of like the back end information.
Yeah, we need like a joint.
Like Yeah.
email thing.
I did do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have the because I had to set that up for the YouTube.
Right, for the YouTube, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to, but I think I have 2 steps set up, so I needed you to be home for when you log in, so I can
Right.
have that hooked up and be like, oh yeah, the code is this. Or
Okay.
whatever. But yeah, I want to get all that going. That would be really fun. I need to look into RSS feeds. You should talk to your buddy Alex and ask him about that, because his podcast is on like Spotify and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And if there's a way that I could get like digital versions, I could send you like a digital audio version to put on like Spotify while I do like iTunes or something, so we can do like multi-uploading at the same time kind of thing. Trying to get things out at a certain time across multiple platforms will be tricky, but I think if we do that way, since we will both have access to the accounts, that'd be super easy to do.
Yeah.
It's always fun to talk about behind the scenes podcast stuff on the podcast.
Yeah,
but that's
let
all
the people know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we don't talk about it, we won't do it.
It's very true.
Yeah.
Even if we talk about it sometimes.
Right. Well, I mean, the week goes by so fast.
It really does. It does. Especially when, like, I mean, I've only been at my new job for maybe a month and a half now.
Right. And when we're trying to play like games and stuff like that on top of it. And
right.
Yeah. And you forget you only have like 3 or 4 hours after work.
Yeah, everything's changing. And then on top of the games, I'm constantly adding more other things that I want to do that I have no time to do on top of it.
Right. Well,
and I'm just
that's
like,
another thing.
What am I doing? Why do I keep doing this?
Yeah.
I have too many priorities.
I started using like Tenderian and shit, and
I
don't fucking have time for this.
I can't even.
I'll try.
Yeah.
God,
that's another thing. Finding time just to make sure I don't ignore my girlfriend is another thing. I have to squeeze in between everything. Even living with her, you'd be surprised how often I'm like, oh, I should probably turn around and be like, hey.
Right. Well, I mean, like Kyle and I live together, but half of our interaction is just us playing video games in the same room. That's always nice, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's how it is for us. But I mean, you know.
Yeah.
You guys don't share a bed.
Right. Yeah, I also, I'm not a normal person. I'm not it takes me a lot to crave a companion or anything like that. So.
Right, well that's me. See, I can go days without talking to anybody, but I gotta make sure that she doesn't think I hate her, you know?
Yeah, I wave to Kyle in the morning. It's like, cool, I saw somebody today. It's cool.
Yeah. That's true. That'd be nice.
Yeah, that's sometimes that's all you need to yeah. But then I go to work and I'm like, I don't want to see anybody, go away.
Right.
I stand out the window and try to be a scarecrow.
Oh my gosh.
Scare people away.
That's so funny. You don't want to come in here.
No. No. My job's now commission based, so like it's during the week is so fucking slow. But then if I don't work on the weekends, it's like I missed all the sales.
Oh right.
So right now it's like none of my days are consistent either. So ideally I can get like on a consistent schedule, or like how you have it, where you have certain days off and you go to work at certain hours. Because right now I'm all over the place, which is like, I don't know. I did that skate episode today, and I was talking about like I used to record every day after work or before work, and like I just fell out of it because it's like, I don't know.
Well, it's exhausting.
Yeah, and it's a lot, but like it used to not be a lot, and I don't know why it's a lot now. But like,
I mean, it just, you know, too much of anything becomes a lot. I feel, you know.
I think it's always the convenience of it. Like when I was living, when I had everything just set up and stuff like that, it would just be like turn on and go, and I was already sitting there to like to watch YouTube or something like that anyways.
Yeah.
Versus like even moving the camera like 3 feet. But like, I don't know, I've been looking at like maybe getting a little tripod or something like that. A little something. maybe getting a different spot for the camera maybe getting a tripod for the putting on my desk. I worry about it being that high though, and it's a lot farther for it to fall.
That's true. Yeah.
It's
Very
a
true.
big thing. The camera that you guys are watching us through is like 5 pounds. It's a big boy.
Yeah, it's hefty. You have
It's
to wrap it in bubble wrap.
Yeah, which so like I don't know. Kyle and I have talked about it. Where like I'm kind of like done the math in my head of like, well, if I sold this camera, it's worth like 3 Canons or
That's
something
true.
like that.
That's very true.
And stuff where like I don't know. It's always a thought. But then I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do with 3 cameras? There's just more footage to edit.
I mean, yeah. But camera angles are always, that's how you spicing up anything.
Right.
One extra camera angle,
Yeah,
suddenly
having-
you're dynamic.
Yeah, having
you
a
know?
B camera. Once I start streaming and stuff.
Have a
eventually-
far camera and a close camera.
Yeah.
Have a left camera, you know, for the serious moments.
Yeah.
Camera angles are, that really spices, that's the icing on,
Yeah.
on a cake, you know. You add a couple of different angles.
Yeah.
Suddenly you're a talk show.
Yeah, we have no clue how much longer we're gonna be here.
Yeah,
So
I was gonna say, why don't you just get a ceiling tripod and have it
That would-
suspended
that-
from the? Then
Kyle
you
would-
never have to remove it.
Kyle would hate that so much.
Yeah.
Kyle hates chandeliers.
Well, I mean, you could remove the camera.
I would hate that too, man. I'd smack my face into it so
Well,
much.
that's what I'm saying. You don't keep the camera up there all the time, but it would be easier to just click a camera in there.
And getting something with like an arm, a mechanical arm that I can like move, like
Yeah.
some kind of gimbal or something that I
Yeah,
can move.
yeah.
I mean, I don't want like a full jib shot, but like, yeah, just a little arm, just a little like craning,
Yeah.
like camera thing with like a small like Sony XR
One
or
of those,
like,
yeah.
yeah, a tiny little thing. Or a Canon. A Canon's fine. I've been looking at a T8i, a Rebel, or something like that, like what all the skaters use.
Yeah.
Maybe you can put a fisheye lens on it and get sick footy.
Why not? I mean, we have so much technology now. It's,
Yeah. I mean, the smart thing would be to start using my phone more often too as a recording device. And
That's
like,
true. iPhones are the, you know.
and start IRL streaming more.
Yeah.
It's like that would be the smart thing to do. It's like
There'll definitely be a way to step it up.
It's like I watch streams with like the podcast dudes that I watch just like eating food and doing the podcast while eating food.
It's
And
so
I'm like,
true.
why Patrick and I could just do that with a
It's so
Bluetooth
true.
mic.
I think about that all the time.
Oh, we could, yeah, dude. Yeah, maybe we could talk about that more deeply. It's like getting Bluetooth mics and stuff like that. Doing that more often.
If we did like co-stream, like we game and stream together, that'd be sick.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, but I'm just saying for like podcasting, like
Oh yeah, for potting. Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about because I
or
was thinking
streaming
about
in general. but,
playing
like,
a game. That game,
Right.
we could play that game and stream, and we wouldn't even need both video. We wouldn't need video at all, technically. But
Well, for co-streams we do.
well, I mean, even if like only one of us videoed and then I was just a voice or vice versa, you know. it wouldn't
Right,
be-
but in order to co-stream, you need 2 channels. That's why it's co-streaming.
Oh yeah, but I
Yeah.
mean, you still wouldn't need
We could do that too, though. I mean,
camera.
the ideal thing is to eventually get to the point where we have a setup for both of us, or
Yeah.
we could do less traveling and more shows.
Well, luckily, Kenya likes to game, so like we both want. Because right now she has a work computer, which is like
Yeah.
okay for some things. You know, she plays The Sims,
Right.
stuff like that.
And that's what this is basically.
I play Stardew, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, we want to invest in an actual thing because she streams more than I do.
Right.
She'll just almost anytime she plays a game, she just streams just because why not?
Right.
Which is my mentality, but I never do it. Mostly for that reason you were saying, how the setup. She can kind of just turn her PlayStation on and put a headset on and go.
Yeah.
But I don't have a headset. I have to use my like crane microphone, you know, and then I have to hook that into a headset,
Yeah.
and then I have to hook that up to another
I
thing.
think Kyle's been using his microphone more often. He's been like.
I love it. I love those mics. No, it sounds great.
Yeah.
It sounds absolutely great, but it's just that extra process that's like, oh, maybe I'm not going to stream right now.
Yeah. Right. Well, I mean, like, that's another thing. I mean, once we get down that road, it's like, we got to start learning, like, OBS and all that kind of Streamlabs and all that stuff. I mean, that's.
But that's become so much easier over the years.
Right. And then,
it's like, I mean, I'm not going to be outsmarted by a teenager that can do it. Just saying. Like,
right.
if these fucking freaking, sorry,
why are you saying sorry?
I don't know. Maybe there's a kid right now listening. I don't know. I don't.
Fucking kids.
I'm not. I just said it a little too aggressively, and I felt
apologizing-
bad about it. I don't
You
know.
apologizing to the children, man? It's weird.
It just came out too rough. I'm not that rough.
No, I get it.
But if they can figure it out, all right, I can dang sure
Right.
figure it out.
No, for sure, definitely.
But it really does require a more powerful system. Like I've tried doing it on my little notebook laptop, and it like almost exploded just trying to do a couple
my
things.
computer can't handle anything when I'm editing a video. Like if
Right.
I try to like load YouTube while my video is rendering, let alone editing or anything, like it freaks the fuck out. But also my laptop's super old now too, so like yeah, I want to get the streaming setups for both of us, so like getting shirts and everything like that will be the way to go. We get the Patreon more set up. It's already set up. I just need to get payment stuff and everything like that figured out. And
I've kind of established a better schedule for all that.
yeah,
Like now that I have the t-shirt thing, I have like all right, I need 2 designs a month. I'm not gonna go crazy.
Right.
You know, 2 designs a month. If I do that, that's like all the drawing I need to do for the month, so then I can play as much games as I want to outside of my writing stuff, obviously.
Right.
But so I'll actually be able to stream, hopefully like once a week.
right. Well, I would like to get it to the point where this is the fucking job.
Right. Well, yeah. Hopefully it's every day. It'll be
Yeah,
nice, but-
this and then Pokemon and then for you comedy, like
Yeah, comedy
know.
for sure.
like our merch and stuff, like fuck. And then we can spend whatever amount of time doing whatever. Like, why only stop at 2 shirts? If you want to do a line of shirts that month, like you totally could. you
Oh
know?
yeah,
Do
absolutely.
they do button ups and stuff like that?
There's not.
I feel like I'm button up.
No, I don't think there's any. There's no collared shirts. Not even like a polo.
No.
I don't believe.
We'll have to look at maybe some more options.
Yeah, I have. I think I signed up for like 2 other sites that do similar deals.
Yeah.
I just didn't look into their options. But yeah, I want like a hoodie option, a polo option, a regular T-shirt option, and then
Yeah.
maybe a couple other things.
Hoodies are a big thing. I mean, I'm a big long sleeve person, and then
Beanies. Would be
Yeah.
Cool. I know that's like a different type of printing though. It's not like the same. You actually have to
Yeah.
get that sewn on usually or something.
sometimes it depends. I mean, like I'm fine with just doing colors.
Yeah.
Like if we just did the colors.
They also have stickers, but
Yeah.
the stickers I'm thinking about just getting myself through a different website, because if you get a sticker through this website, it's like $3 for 1 sticker or whatever.
Right.
Where I can buy like, I could go to a sticker website and buy like 100 for like $10 or something, and then sell them for like $1 a piece.
Right.
And then no one's really getting gypped. I don't want to sell a sticker for $3 or $4. That's crazy. It's an expensive ass sticker.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, dude, stickers are
Especially,
expensive.
well, also because I would be getting almost nothing of that $3 or $4.
Right.
Whereas
Skates-
if I print them, I
Right.
get
that would
that's
be
all
that would be the
profit.
reason. That would be the reason to do it.
yeah.
But
It's
you
less work than carrying T-shirts.
Dude,
around.
stickers are fucking expensive.
They do add up, dude. People,
Like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
You go to a skate shop, like I used to spend like $15 on a
Absolutely.
sticker.
Yeah.
Like-
well, I'm hoping that I can get a good enough collection of them that I can just carry them around. And be
Yeah.
like, I want to focus sticker. Because
Right.
$1 a sticker, that adds up. You know?
Right. Game Exchange has like all of these like Chinese knockoff Pokemon stickers, and they
Yeah.
sell like 3 for $1,
Mm-hmm.
and they have thousands of them.
Yeah.
You know, and
Right.
they must sell because there's new ones in there all the time.
Yeah.
I'm not the one buying them, but
Well,
you
that's the
know.
goal with the shirts. Same with the stickers. If I build up enough, then I'll have a collection, and then I can take that entire collection and bring it to a bigger website
Right.
that will produce something of better quality and more. But I have to actually have a product that's worth something. So
Right.
I'm kind of
I mean-
baby stepping my way up the clothing line.
Macari just got rid of seller's fees.
Oh, really?
Entirely.
Oh,
So
wow.
like, I used to make on a $2 card like $1.04, I think it was. Now I just get the $2 straight up.
That's solid.
Yeah, like that's a huge fuck. Like
Yeah.
a dollar card is the most like extreme example of it. Of like a dollar card, I would sell, and after fees and stuff, it would be 34 cents. And then from there, you have to minus like my packaging and my time, and then really I was making like 10 cents on a
Right.
dollar card. Now I'm just making $1 straight up. So really, it's like 70 cents now or whatever after packaging and time.
Right.
And that's a crazy difference.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So like selling stickers on there and stuff like that probably isn't a bad idea now. A lot of that fee has now gone to the buyer. Is what it seems like. It's like there's like a service fee on the buyer's end now, so they're
yeah.
the ones paying for it. Which I
Interesting.
mean, I'm still getting the same amount of business, but yeah, I know at any moment that the platform is about to be crowded with other card sellers, but like my store is so established now that
Yeah.
that nobody's gonna outflood me.
Nice.
Right now. I have like, dude, I'll be at like 8,000 cards.
I was
on my
about to
store
say
soon.
you're in the thousands. It'll take some dedication to just pump out
Yeah,
cards like that.
yeah,
Like
yeah. I'll be at
Real
8,000
numbers.
cards on my store soon.
Some-
There's like over 1,000 right there and next to me.
some super genius 12-year-old's gonna make a computer that just scans cards and pops up on the website.
Right. Well, also like tagging them and stuff like that.
Oh,
like that's
all
another
the
thing.
tags. That's a whole different thing.
Yeah,
Sure.
I have to tag all of it and stuff like
Right.
that. So like, I've gotten a pretty good thing where like, you can do like sell similar or something like that, or if you've sold a card before, you can relist it and they'll just
nice.
auto-populate that same listing.
That's great.
So
That's
like,
great.
I've sold enough of the same cards that like, I could just like, oh, I've already sold this card before, relist, and then I don't even
Oh,
have
yeah.
to like
Yeah.
make a whole new listing for it or anything. So that saves a lot of time, but it's taken. I hit 1,200 sales this week.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if that's $1 a piece, that's great.
Right.
And I know that some of those are probably, way more
Oh
than $1.
yeah, dude. Yeah, we were talking about the Umbreon earlier.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, the Umbreon VMAX.
That's nuts.
Yeah, yeah, dude. That's the most expensive card I've sold, but I've sold that card 3 times, let
Right.
alone like other cards that have been that expensive or close to that. There's so many Charizards, man.
Yeah.
So many Charizards.
Oh yeah, I
out
forgot
there.
those are still a thing that people want.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, I have the Whatnot store, but Whatnot, that's a platform where, like, you live stream at the same time as you're putting up, and then it, like, that's the whole dynamic. It's, like,
Right.
a live streamer for collectors and stuff like that,
yeah.
or for...
Like Twitch, but for cards.
Or Home Shopping Network
Oh,
for
yeah, okay.
retards. Yeah.
Okay. That escalated.
Yeah.
So all home shopping networks, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, I was watching like some dude sell cordless vacuums the other day on it. And it was like
Wow.
this dude covered in tattoos listening to fucking ASAP Rocky selling cordless vacuums. So it was like, this fucking rules.
8 hours of suction, man.
Yeah, dude. It wasn't just one dude though. It was like they were in a warehouse. It was like this is what they do 24 hours a day.
Oh, I've
It
seen
was
things like
definitely,
that. Yeah, yeah.
Couple of dudes that run.
They have
this
things
thing.
like that on TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok.
They'll
is
just be
another
down
one.
the chain, like
Right.
the same, like 7, or like 7 different people doing the same thing.
Right.
On it. Yeah.
Yeah, TikTok's another thing. So like, I mean, the whole meta is streaming now is like you gotta do everything at once. It's not like you don't just do Twitch. If you're gonna stream, you do Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, and Kick or whatever it's called.
Right.
All at the
Yeah.
same time.
Don't let anyone come to you. You just go to everyone.
Right. I mean,
spread yourself thin.
yeah. I mean, that's the whole mentality with the podcast of what we got to do. But like, it's
Oh
just
yeah.
been,
Yeah.
it's so much work.
But that's easier than having like
myself.
4 different cameras to
Yeah.
stream all this stuff.
I mean, that's ideally if we could get. I mean, I would love a studio space, man. I would love to like get the podcast where like we can like do that. But
That'd be sick. Just a permanent setup.
yeah, and then I wouldn't mind spending more time in editing because I wouldn't feel bad about setting up. But like, I don't know
Right.
why setting up's always been like, it's always such a like a neurodivergence. Like, I don't
Yeah.
want to fucking do this
Right.
shit. I don't know. That goes for anything. Like, it took me forever to get my taxes done.
Oh, I literally just did
'cause-
mine a couple days ago.
Right.
Because yeah, I put it off for so long.
Right. Yeah, I think about doing it of like how much I need to do it, but then like I don't want to do it because it's like the fuck it. My W-2's over there versus in front of me.
Yeah, I had mine sitting in an email,
Right.
and I was still like, oh man.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I had mine in an email forever, and then I finally printed it, and I put it on my desk.
Just to kind of encourage you.
Yeah. And I don't sit over there normally, unless I'm doing Pokemon stuff.
Right.
Um,
Not taxes.
Yeah. So, it didn't help much. But, yeah, then my car exploded. I was like, yeah, I gotta get that done. Gotta get that out.
Come
and-
see if you get some money for me. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because I had seen how much I was gonna make from it, but I just never like finished it.
Right. Oh, funny. Nice.
Yeah, like I did the federal part, but I never did the
Yeah.
state part.
I'll get to that.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, I'll finish it. So it was just sitting unfinished in my TurboTax for a couple days. And then I
Nice.
waited until I was at work. Actually,
It's funny
I brought
'cause-
it with me to work.
Because when you're doing it, it brags about how it'll only be done in like 25 minutes, and there's like a timer,
Right.
and then you go back and it's like 3 days later on the timer.
Yeah, dude. It's like this is taking up 586 minutes.
It's funny because it's not self-aware, so it'll still congratulate you at the end, like, good job, look how long it took. Like,
so fucking
that's
dumb.
great. 4 days, new record. Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like doing taxes,
Yeah,
but
they suck.
yeah. And they make it so convenient, but it's like, fuck it, dude. I don't want to. I don't want to do it now. You told me I have to do it, so I don't want to do it. That's the big thing, I guess.
Yeah, that might be it too. Yeah, it's like I don't want to help
Right. I mean, it's like school.
feed the man.
I was that way at school too, where it was like the morning of is when I would finally like film my commercial or something like that, or
Oh
edit.
yeah, I was
Something like
horrible
that.
about that. I used to draw the cartoon for the newspaper, but it was
Really?
just let me before you get excited. I convinced him that I mean I've always doodled shit,
Right.
right? So I showed him some stuff like, oh, I can do this or whatever, and then he said, sure, yeah, that'd be cool, because I did morning announcements, so I already wrote silly stuff. So he's like,
Yeah.
yeah, just make silly cartoons. But all I did was everyone else was like researching for like articles and like reading books to write articles about the book, and I just like played games every day. And then the morning of, before we had to print the newspaper, we had to turn in all our articles, and I would just quickly draw like a stick figure doing something in the school, like, that was relevant for that week.
I mean,
you know, and it was a small school, so like news was kind of like just drama and stuff, but that's it. There was
this
nothing
like elementary
extravagant.
school?
No, this was high school.
Oh,
I was a senior.
You were a senior,
and I swindled my way into drawing stick figures for a year. And he would always tell me, like, you got to put more work into this. You got to think about this a couple of days ahead of time. I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. You know, there's just school. You know, a lot of stuff.
Maybe that'll be the title of this episode. Patrick swindles high school.
It was great. I did that all the time.
It's funny as hell.
So much.
So
I think he hated it.
That was your assignment where you just like the cartoon guy in
Yeah.
the class, and was there any other cartoon guys?
No, just me.
No.
Just me. Before me, the year before. I mean, it's
This
happened before.
newspaper, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The year
Funny
or
as
two
hell if it was
before.
the
No,
fucking
like the
daily-
town newspaper. Yeah, I swindled my way into the town newspaper. To draw
I believe it,
stick
dude.
figures. That'd be so funny.
Dude, public access television used to be a
It's
thing.
so.
you know?
It still is.
And
It still is.
There's so many games journalists and stuff. I mean, this is a gaming podcast, so like, yeah, games journalists used to be like, little kids would be like, I'm gonna write for my high school, or not, their elementary school, and then like the elementary school will be like, oh, this kid likes to write, we're gonna give him a thing to go to the newspaper.
Oh yeah. Nope. This was just I just drew stick figures for the high school, and it was great.
That's great.
It's so great.
They had a school news thing. I don't know. They didn't do a newspaper, but they had like a news video thing that they did.
Yeah, we did
That
both.
was. I feel like it was so flippant on when they did that.
Ours
It
was, we did one every morning, but
It was like supposed to be an every Tuesday thing.
oh really?
But then they just stopped fucking doing it.
Oh wow. No, we
It's like drama
had
class.
one, and we did it every morning for the year I was in.
Yeah.
I don't know if it lasted after that, but
My first year of school here, there was a drama club, and then never again.
Really? Oh, wow.
It was fucking dumb.
That's crazy.
It's like they just gave up on the arts.
they were just like, nah,
They're like, Connecticut has no
sports, just sports. Got to get all them kids to UConn.
no love for the arts in Connecticut.
No, that's very true.
We had a photography teacher that was a bitch, but I think the football teacher or something was the drama coach or something or the soccer coach was the drama
that's
teacher.
funny. Our cheerleading
Drama
coach
coach.
was the drama coach, or
Yeah.
our drama person for a while. Or our English teacher was the cheerleader coach.
Yeah.
And then also in charge of putting together a play or whatever every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And soccer's
It's
really
a lot.
important in Connecticut for some reason.
Is
You
it?
think hockey would be or some? I mean, hockey is
Basketball.
kind of big here. Basketball, yeah, and indoor sports.
College, yeah. Right.
But soccer's really big here, and him being the soccer coach, I don't think Fitch would win ever. So I'd imagine he got fired
Yeah.
for them not winning. And then because of that, they're like, oh, we don't need a drama teacher anymore.
Right.
He's not good enough for soccer. It's not good enough for drama. I don't know.
Huh.
I don't get it.
Interesting.
There's a lot of weird things in that
They
school.
just kicked him all the way out.
Did I ever tell you that I went to like a Smokers Anonymous in that school?
No.
So like Kyle and I would skip a lot of class and like go smoke cigarettes and stuff like that. And we'd go to like the church across the street. And there was one day I was out there by myself, and I don't know, one of the teachers walked up and they pulled us in, and they're like, we're gonna make you go to the Cigarettes Anonymous or smoking class to show you how bad smoking is.
No way.
So it was like every homeroom I had to go into like Smokers Anonymous with like 4 other kids that had gotten caught smoking in that same spot at different times. And they would buy us like Panera every morning and shit. I was like, I'm gonna
What?
smoke all the
That
time.
sounds great,
It's
right?
fucking rules. It was so strange. It was it was like they would bring like coffee and fucking like in the big jug things, like they were like gallons
Yeah.
of coffee.
Huh.
And like, yeah, they'd bring breakfast sandwiches and stuff every morning and
Wow.
stuff. And it
And
was
then
like,
be like, don't smoke or this happens to you.
well, it was because it was all they made all the guidance counselors do the smoking
Oh,
anonymous
right.
course.
Yeah, and they're not going to have a bad time.
Right.
Yeah.
None of them smoked cigarettes.
Right.
It's not like they knew what smoking was like.
That's so funny. Yeah.
But there was a couple of teachers that used to smoke, and we'd see them almost all the time smoking in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, ah. And I'd be like, ah.
Wow. That's funny. Yeah, the teachers that smoked weren't allowed to smoke on the property, technically. Like, they could smoke in their cars or, like, in the parking lot,
Yeah.
I guess. But
From what I heard, where we went to school, they had, like, a smoker section, like, at some point.
there
and
was,
then
like, a
they got rid
gazebo.
of it. Yeah.
But it was, like, out of sight.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't in the front.
Right. I mean, it makes sense now. I think you have to be 21 to smoke, and there's not a lot of 21-year-olds in high school.
That's true, yeah.
I did go to school. There was a 22-year-old in our school, and that was the weirdest shit.
That's strange.
Yeah. It was like, oh, next year you can't be 23 in high school. He'll have to go get his GED. You better pass this year. I was like, that's fucking weird, man.
I remember being, like, 13 and there was like a 16-year-old in a class I was in once, and I was like, this guy's like a full-grown man.
Right.
He was like developed. I was like, this
Right.
should not be in here.
Yeah, that happened because I was in San Diego going to school, and yeah, that would happen where it was like, yeah, their family came across the border, and like they gained citizenship, and he started going to school and shit, and that, like, 7 is when he went to kindergarten or something like that, or 8 years old. So yeah, he's like fucking 16 and
he's like,
the middle of 8th grade now.
It's huge. Can't even fit in a regular desk.
Right?
Yeah, that's weird.
Goatee and shit because
he's like
fucking Mexican,
hitting on the teachers, and the teachers are like, "Yeah, this is legal because you're 18 already." Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, San Diego, California schools are weird, man. Because like,
I think this guy just failed a lot. This was in Florida, so it's a different situation.
Right.
But same, yeah.
there was a lot of freedom in California schools that weren't in any of the other schools that I'd go to. Like, like how I said, Kyle and I used to like just leave, and like in California that was fine. Like at lunchtime, you were able to just go to the plaza and across the street or down the road and go get food.
Yeah, you go to the mall, buy some new sunglasses.
Like, Kyle and I had to like fucking stealth our way out the doors. I mean, a lot of the time it was just walking out, but like sometimes it was like, you fucking splinter cell your way through fucking.
You had to wear a wig.
Yeah. Be like, oh, what's that over there? All right.
Right.
And then I don't know. We would walk in through the front doors, though. That was the funniest shit ever. It was like, where have you been, huh? We were late today.
Where were we? Yeah, you tell me.
We were never here.
Yeah. That's cool, though. That's funny.
Yeah. God, I hate school. And then,
It sucks.
yeah. But I mean, like, deadlines, deadlines suck even worse. I mean, that's why I don't like going to school. But the only way I'll get something done, for sure. It's so hard for me
that
to,
pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to where we started this conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the pressure of a deadline.
I gotta make myself start doing shit. Yeah. Yeah. We can, like, get this podcast done, get it up on Patreon, and then a day or two later, get it up everywhere else. That would be like the ideal rotation of everything.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah. That'd be the way to go. I don't know. I think that's a podcast, though. Anything else you want to talk about? Anything else? Anything crazy happen else? I had a really boring week because I don't have a car.
No. Not that I can think of. Anything that I thought was neat, I think I sent to you throughout the week or whatever.
Right. The Liza P thing. We didn't even talk about Liza P yet. We didn't even talk about that boss.
We talked about it at the very beginning. I just said briefly that it was annoying.
Right, we didn't even talk about what that boss is, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
The
really.
Watcher.
Yeah, I got. That's the next thing I gotta figure out.
Yeah, dude, that's a fun boss. It was rough, but it's Bloodborne. That's the most Bloodborne.
It was definitely
fight.
giving me that. Yeah, for sure. I was like, oh shit.
It was like,
and you can't summon a helper.
No.
And you're just like, and it's sudden too. You just like come upon it.
Right.
Like, oh fuck.
Right. And
Full life bar.
There's a little bit of a run to it. No, was there? No,
not after you do get a shortcut after you find her the first time.
The
but
Stargazer's
to
like
get to it,
underneath
there
the
is.
ladder.
Yeah. There's a whole thing you have to do, but then
It's
you
like
do get a shortcut.
Fucking Blighttown and Dark Souls, but you're going up instead of down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking garbage.
There's a lot of that.
And there's the next few fights in that game are like pretty gnarly.
Yeah. I feel like
you're at like the last hour. Like you don't got much.
Oh really? Oh wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it felt like it was wrapping up, but I was like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
These things...
If you did perfect runs on all the bosses, it would be like an hour worth of time.
Oh wow.
But we'll see.
I mean, this one's already kicking my butt, so we'll see.
I think this one might take you an hour.
I have to play, because I have to pretty much switch up my whole playing style almost.
Yeah.
She's too fast for what I have loaded in right now.
Right, because you got big chunky hammer, right?
Yeah. Well, it's a wrench, but yeah. Oh, yeah. Basically. I just have a fire wrench.
Yeah, you're just bonking heads and stuff.
That's all I've been doing. Yeah, a lot of bonking. She's not bonkable.
I think what I did, I stayed with the puppet's blade the whole time.
Right,
pretty much. So I think I did acid, and then fire.
What arm did you choose? Oh, you chose the firearm.
Yeah, I always use the fire just because
I'm using the gun arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The gun arm's pretty good. That's smart.
It's cool. I think I like it the most because you get an additional dodge if you upgrade it all the way.
Right.
It gives you a dodge. You can shoot and do an extra dodge. So like you get like a dodge and a half, which has helped. But that's limited because you have to keep your arm charged, so you can't do it. So.
Yeah. I thought about doing a second playthrough of that with the needle arm, the string. Because the puppet string, if you level it up all the way, you get like the scorpion come over here.
Right. I think that would be really cool.
And then you can do a full on it gives you a stagger stab thing right away.
Right.
And that sounds great. To be able to completely knock someone down. Fucking...
See, my weapon has this flame handle.
Yeah.
So if I hold down R2, I shoot towards you.
Oh yeah, the rocket booster.
Yeah, and do a smash. So it's similar to the string.
I was thinking the other one. There's another flame handle that's
I can't remember what it originally was attached to. I just attached it to the wrench, but
yeah, there's a couple of ones where it's just that weapon, and then you get a couple of weapons that are a weird variant.
Yeah.
Of it's the puppet scimitar, but it has fire effect, and now you can. And this one you can't do any modifiers
take apart
at
or
all.
Nothing. Yeah.
And it's so strange on why they would even do that. But
yeah, very weird.
Maybe to give you inspiration. Okay. Yeah, but you can level those up. You just can't take them apart.
Yeah, and they usually end up costing more to level up. So you need twice as many half moon stones.
I don't think you can do any effects on them either because they already have pre-built effects.
Yeah.
Which is another reason why I stuck with the scimitar thing, the puppet blade, because I wanted to be able to use all of the oils and everything like that.
Right.
If you go back to dude he's in the Bad Bunny, or not the Bad Bunny, what is it called, what is that group called with all the rabbit, the wolf,
what are the Black Rabbits or something?
The Black Rabbits, right. And the Bad Bunnies.
Close.
The Black Rabbits. They're in their hideout. I believe there's a merchant close by.
Yeah.
Next to the shortcut right there.
Okay.
Because the shortcut into that is a door into the hotel, and then you go from the Stargazer. as soon as you go into the hotel from that shortcut, there's a merchant on the second floor. That merchant has like unlimited fire paper and shit like that.
Oh, word.
So I just fucking bought as much as I could.
Nice.
And then he also had like bombs and shit like that too. Like all of your throwables and stuff are all of that, dude.
Yeah, I'll have to see if I've discovered them or not.
Yeah.
That's one thing I wish that they would mark is like where the merchants are, because now I've come across so many. I'm like, I don't remember where the first merchant was. You know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Not that they're all important, but some of them have things that I'd like to.
Yeah.
I have enough money now. I can go back and get all the shot grenades or whatever.
Yeah, I have it so burned in my mind of like from Souls games of like I'm just looking that shit up.
Yeah.
Like if a certain
right. Yeah.
I'm looking for a certain merchant. I'm just looking for that one merchant.
I just always wish it was like actually in the game.
Right. Right. But yeah. I mean, it would be fine if every merchant sold the same thing.
That's the other thing too. It's like they're all different, completely different.
And so you gotta like that. That's why I always look it up, because just like in Elden Ring or whatever, it's like, oh, this one has 3 swordstone keys in Elden Ring versus like that one has like a cookbook and like some fucking dung.
Right. Yeah. I guess it is like a big community. At the end of the day, it is about the community communicating and stuff.
Well, it's not even that. It's just I don't want to waste my time thinking about it. I'm just like, give me the one with the fire paper, because you can't grind for material. There's not a lot of material grinding in this game. Like that's missing from Bloodborne.
You're very limited.
Yeah, Bloodborne, you're like grinding for vials constantly. You're like always getting items because that's part of the loop.
Right.
This one, you kind of just like it's up to you to buy them.
You get what you get, because some places that's it.
Right.
You run out and.
Right, which is why I love like knowing that the merchants only sell certain things or only certain merchants. Just looking it up is so much easier because.
Right.
Yeah. The item placement in that it almost seems like this game doesn't want you to use items at all. Like with how little they throw at you in the main game. It's
even some of the items that they make seem important. I don't think I've used like once.
No.
Like they give you 2 different methods to like teleport home.
Yeah, I've only used that once. Actually, because you can use that. That's a Souls thing where like if you die on a boss, right, and you have 100,000 souls because you walked into a boss arena you didn't know was there, you can use that to get out. If you die, you go run back for your souls and use that item to warp yourself back out. But then the other souls thing is like not all of them have a certain kind of item, or it's like a usable item that's not infinite. Sekiro, it's an infinite one, but usually the infinite one is kill yourself and you lose all your souls, which is kind of like just I ran the wrong way thing. I don't know why they do that.
Right.
Like that's always an option too. And in these types of games, just kill yourself and dump all your loot. It's like why?
Right. That's true. It's just the other brutal option. They gotta make it. There's no easy way out, really.
Right. I forgot. I think it's like sacrificial twig in Dark Souls. You gotta put that on.
Yeah.
If you die, you keep all your souls.
I think you still get a twig in Elden Ring.
Yeah. Yeah, they have it in Elden Ring as well. Yeah. For Elden Ring, it's also kill yourself, lose all your runes. It's called a Mimic Grace.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't think I've done that in that game. But yeah, I think I used, because you get like a watch, I think I used that one time.
Right.
Because I just went back to get something that I didn't do before, and then after I did that, I was like, I don't even remember where the nearest grace is.
Right.
So I teleported. But then there's one that's similar, I think, where you do kill yourself and lose all your stuff. I've never used that.
I started using it more when I started doing like loot runs, so I started trying to go for like all the pieces of quartz and stuff like that.
Right, yeah.
Like, because there's the triangle keys
Yeah.
that you
yeah.
get from bosses, and like each one of the rooms are like pretty hidden, and out of the way. So like every time I use that, I would use that item because I'm not there's no way I'm running back.
Yeah. Oh, right.
There's no reason to.
Yeah, especially having to fight everything.
Yeah. So
My luck, I'll just get killed by something dumb because I was like, oh, I'm just gonna run through.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Did you meet Arthur?
Maybe.
You met him because he happens before the swamp boss.
I don't remember.
Aldous is the dog, right? That's his name?
Yeah, I think so. Something like that. Oh, Arthur's like the kid?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, did you get his like secret thing yet?
He hasn't opened the
gate.
The gate yet. He was still standing there. And then I defeated the swamp thing, and then I went back. He's still not.
Right. You have to like go find the. You find like one of the little turn things. It's like one of the little puzzle things that you have to do, and then
I don't think I found that yet.
he opens that up for you, or you get a key to open that up, or something like that. Yeah, I don't remember what was there. I don't think there's like a mini boss or anything there, but yeah. I think there's a triangle room there. The triangle rooms are weird. I wonder what the next game is going to be like, and how much that triangle room stuff's going to be there, because that's very Wonderlandy, aliens.
Very out of the kind of left field of the rest of the game.
Yeah, dude.
He knows a lot, but he's like a watcher type character, like almost like the author or something.
Right.
And the one thing I don't like about those is that they don't. If you miss one, and you do like the next one, if you do them out of order, there's no recognition of that.
Right.
It's all scripted.
I think there might be a logbook of each one of those interactions though that places them in order.
Oh, maybe.
So you might be able to like.
I just know that I found like one of the last ones, and you could tell by like the way it was said that like it assumed that you found the other ones first, I guess, and I haven't.
Right.
I'm definitely missing at least one.
Right. I think you can open any of the rooms with any key.
That's another thing, right? There's no. Yeah.
I think it doesn't matter what key you have. It's just you need one triangle key to open one door.
Right.
Versus, like the Elden Ring ones are like that as well. They're not as lore heavy in Elden Ring.
Right.
But it's like some take two, some take one, but like you can use any of them. I think there's like one instance where you need the special stone key.
Right. Yeah.
So
there's like an extra
the
puzzle.
Yeah. There's like 3 special warp gates in the game that need like special.
Oh, Elden
Stone.
Ring. Yeah. I was talking about Lies of P. There's like a special one too. But, But yeah.
What a cool game, man. What a cool game. Well, ideally, we'll have more cool games to talk about next week, of course.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have more news to talk about. The rumor is the state of play is happening in May. My word to that is no fucking shit.
Right.
Yeah, of course we're gonna have another one.
Yeah.
And of course it's gonna happen, around the time that all of the other ones happen.
Right. Yeah.
I think.
Go figure.
I think last year we watched that one. It was like May 28th or whatever or something, and then the rest of E3 was like the next week.
Yeah.
And it's because PlayStation wanted to go first. It seems like that's what they're gonna do this year. And it's kind of like, that makes sense.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great. Bring it on. I
So,
guess
we'll have that eventually, but
that's cool.
I have a feeling we're gonna see another like Nintendo thing or something very shortly, like a Nintendo Indie World event soon. So maybe that we'll have to talk about next week. Actually, next week you're gonna be on tour.
I was gonna say we have to talk about that. I'll be going.
A trip.
I'm leaving for Pennsylvania on the 10th.
So we should probably record Sunday. I'm off Sunday. When you get out of work, we'll do a special episode and just bring like an extra topic or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, I don't leave. Yeah, anytime between now and
The 6th.
Tuesday.
Tuesdays.
I leave Wednesday morning. We're leaving
Okay.
first thing
Yeah.
Wednesday morning.
Yeah, I'm off Sunday, so I mean, you get out what 3 or whatever
I think a little earlier on. Well,
on Sunday.
maybe 2.
Where? Well, whenever.
Mid-afternoon.
Yeah, yeah. We'll do something Sunday. We'll do like a special episode. I mean, this podcast is about video games, but like I don't know, maybe we'd like to bullshit and stuff.
We could always just like. We don't always have to talk about news. We could always talk about, our favorite games. We
Yeah.
could pull some games out of the vault.
Right. That's what I was
You know,
thinking. I was like,
go
we'll
back
each
in
bring a
time.
different topic or
Right.
something.
Yeah.
Or we'll each bring two topics, one game related, one unrelated to the
And then
game.
some of the old stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, mix it up.
Yeah.
The more we become established, the more we'll have.
Yeah, and then maybe who knows?
Segments.
Maybe that weird podcast, this one, will be the new format or
Hey,
something.
Kickstarter. Yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
try weird shit to discover weird shit.
Well, I mean, like Kyle and I were talking about, I don't know, just like not a video games podcast, but just like I don't know, different podcast ideas of like
Shooting the shit.
yeah, or like I don't know, I like podcasts.
I'm
That's all I do.
I'm in the middle of
That's
writing
all I
like a
watch.
talk show podcast. I really
Yeah.
want like a late night esque. I know that's kind of a thing that's already been going around, but I think I can make it weird enough.
Did I ever show you Giant Bomb's Friday Night Forking?
It's very possible.
Oh my
But-
god.
We can always check it out.
It's not a late night show podcast, but it's a late night show something. And
Okay.
I think you'll get a
It's like an
fucking
Adult
kick out
Swim
of
thing
it.
or something.
It's yeah.
Yeah.
I'd put it up there with high art.
Okay.
Go look up Friday Night Forking. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I think that's a podcast. We'll be back in a few days to record a new one.
Yeah,
and
another
that will
one.
probably go out at the normal time. It's just we have something banked so while he's gone. And then yeah, we'll be ever expanding and ever evolving with the times.
We're doing it.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, Patrick has a show in like 2 hours, so wish him luck. And in the
Thanks.
past, because this will be in the
Thanks.
future when you're watching it.
It went well.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I'm sure it went great. It's been fun. It's been real. Peace out, Grubscut.
Yay.
Bye.